Hi, in this lecture video, we are going to talk about the third case study, that is, the wilderness weather station. Wilderness refers to a geographical area which is inaccessible, challenging to access, and almost always inhabitable. So governments of countries with areas or with locations with large amount of wilderness always take measures to deploy weather stations in order to monitor and control climate change and to accurately make weather forecasts. We're going to look at such an example of such a wilderness system. What are the limitations? What are the challenges? And other issues when we have to implement and maintain such systems. Let's get started. So, to help monitor climate change and to improve the accuracy of weather forecasts in places with lots of or large areas of wilderness, governments of such countries deploy hundreds of weather stations in such remote areas. These weather stations usually collect data from a set of instruments such as sensors that measure temperature, pressure, sunshine, rainfall, wind speed, wind direction, and many other such parameters. So, since the area is inaccessible to human activity, there are sensors deployed for once. It's a one time work. Deploy the sensors and have the sensors to measure all the environmental parameters just mentioned, such as temperature, pressure, sunshine, and so on, and have these sensors report to weather stations. So, wilderness weather stations are actually a part of a larger system. So, here also you can see it has three components. The weather station itself is one system, the other system is the data management and archiving system, and the third system is the station maintenance system. Do not worry about the diagrammatic notations now because we will study what these diagrams are and what these notations are in detail when we take up UML, Unified Modeling Language. Just understand that the wilderness weather system, station system, comprises of these three systems, and this is how you denote a system. Okay, this symbol is used to denote a system. So you can see there are three components here. Let's understand, or let's take up one component at a time and try and understand what is the task of every component. The first component, that is the weather station system. So this system or subsystem is responsible for collecting the weather data, carrying out some initial data processing, and transmitting it to the data management system. So here, as I said, sensors are deployed in these remote areas, and these sensors are very tiny objects whose task is as trivial as measuring a single entity. So sensors usually work on are battery powered, and they can be operational for tens of years without any problem. They are easy maintenance entities. So here you have sensors, and these sensors are going to read temperature, they are going to read air pressure, they're going to read the wind direction, the wind speed, the sunshine, the rainfall, the humidity, and so on. And they are going to report all these values read at timely intervals to your weather station. The weather station will carry out some kind of basic data processing, because imagine there are hundreds or thousands of sensors deployed, and every sensor will report, say, a value every 10 seconds or every minute. Imagine the amount of information that has to be transmitted. When you have to transmit data, you need a network, right? You cannot have a reliable network, a high speed network in a geographically inaccessible area. So think of the challenges you have to deal with when you're transmitting information. So the weather station, after receiving this vast amount of information from sensors, will also do some basic, not advanced, but very basic data processing, so it can read some valuable information from the data. If the sensor continuously is reading or sensing very low values of temperature, then the weather station knows, or the weather station can process these readings and come out or come up with an interpretation that it is a cold day. So some kind of basic processing is done at the weather station, and then after the basic processing, this information is passed to the next system, that is the data management and the archiving system. Let's take up the next module. The next module is the subsystem data management and the archiving system. So this system collects the data from the wilderness weather stations. I just told you what the weather station does. It passes the information here and carries out further data processing and analysis, and archives data in a form that can be retrieved by other systems such as a weather forecasting system. So whatever information it has received, that is the basically processed data that has been received from the weather station, is again applied. You're going to apply more processing and analytics tools and techniques, process it a little further, and also archive the data so that it can be used by other systems connected to this wilderness weather station system. The third module is station maintenance. So this system can communicate by satellite with all wilderness weather stations to monitor the health of these systems and provide reports of problems. It can update the embedded software in these systems, and in the event of system problems, this system can be used to remotely control a wilderness weather station. So this is actually the maintenance unit. So if it is going to be, this is just one weather station, but there will be hundreds and thousands of weather stations deployed in a geographically inaccessible area. So the station maintenance will be connected to each of these weather stations. This is just one, but if there are 100, it will be connected to all these 100 weather stations, and it will continuously monitor the health of this weather station because it's in the wilderness, not accessible for maintenance easily. So it's going to monitor the health of these systems and report that. And if at all there is a software upgrade that has to happen, then it is responsible for broadcasting those updates to all the weather stations it is taking care of. And in case a particular weather station fails, then this acts like a backup entity or takes the place of that particular weather station. So that is the task of the station maintenance system. So the UML package symbol you can see to indicate each system is a collection of components. So you can see this is the symbol used to illustrate subsystems or systems. So you can see all these systems work together to achieve the objective of a bigger system. So this is the notation, the box with a box on the top left. Also, you can see there is a tag written as system. So this is the standard UML notation. Do not worry about these notations now. You can also see that there are lines connecting these, right? So the associations between these packages or system indicate that they exchange information. So weather station communicates with data management system and vice versa. So because they have an association, there is a line connecting these two modules. Similarly, a station maintenance will definitely communicate, monitor the health of weather station. So there is a line to indicate the association or exchange of information between these two subsystems. So each weather station includes this one will include a number of other instruments to measure parameters we were just talking about. So each of these systems is controlled by a software system that takes parameter readings periodically, manages the data collection from the instruments, and so on. The weather station system operates by collecting weather observations at frequent intervals. That is what we spoke about, at regular intervals, which are defined or programmed in the software, which is embedded into this hardware system. You're going to collect temperature readings and rainfall readings and air pressure readings and wind direction readings at regular intervals. And you're going to do some kind of local processing at the weather station itself before you pass it on to the data management and archiving module. So now that we have understood the different tasks that have to be carried out by the wilderness weather station system, let us look at the different limitations or the challenges we will be encountering when we have to build a software or when we have to deploy such a system in the wilderness. First of all, you have seen there are sensors collecting data, so each, and it's deployed in the wilderness. So obviously you will not have a constant power connection to such system. So every weather station will be battery powered. It must be self-contained. There should be some way the system is able to conserve power and recharge itself. So there is no external power, there are no network cables. All communications will happen through satellite link, which have limited speed. The weather stations, I told you, should be self-contained. They should be able to recharge themselves, and they can do so using either solar power or wind energy. So as they are deployed in the wilderness, they are also exposed to several severe environmental conditions, extreme weather conditions, and also maybe a lot of damage done to them by wild animals and so on. So to accommodate or to deal with these limitations and challenges, the station software, the weather station software, is not just concerned with data collection from the sensors, but it should also do these three activities: monitor, manage, and reconfigure. Let's see what is monitoring. So the first task of the weather station system, along with collecting data, would be to monitor the instruments, monitor the power, the communication hardware, and report any faults to the data management system. Okay, or the station management system, I would say. The second one would be manage. So just after monitoring, it should also manage the system power. It should ensure that the batteries are charged whenever the environmental conditions permit to do so, using solar or wind. When there are high winds, wind energy, use the wind energy to charge the system. When there is adequate amount of sunshine, use solar energy to recharge the system. So the decision has to happen there. Whatever is available, use those naturally occurring resources to recharge and replenish the weather station system. It also generates, so manage the system power and whenever the environmental conditions permit, but also that generators are shut down in potentially damaging weather conditions such as high wind and so on. So the third component of the wilderness station system would be to reconfigure. So this means the system has to allow for dynamic reconfiguration where parts of the software are replaced with new versions, so updates have to be taken care of, and where backup instruments are switched into the system in the event of system failure. So if one weather station fails, there should be a way, a redundant path for another weather station to take over the tasks or the objectives of the failed weather station. So these are three important activities or objectives of the wilderness weather station, in addition to just data collection. That is, monitor the systems, manage the system power, ensure batteries are recharged, allow dynamic reconfiguration, use redundant resources in the event of system failure. So, because weather stations have to be self contained and they cannot be attended regularly by human personnel, this means that whatever software you design for such a system is definitely going to be complex, even though the data collection functionality is fairly simple. In spite of that, the software design is, it will be very complex because it has to deal with making decisions, with redundancy, with monitoring, and all these critical, crucial operations. So in this lecture video, we have seen what is a wilderness weather station. We have seen the overall high-level view of such a system. We have understood the different components that make up a weather station, that is a weather station system, a data management and archiving system, a station maintenance system, which studies the health of all these components and reports their condition, and also takes care of redundancy and dealing with the event of failure. We've also seen the basic UML notations for a system and associations between systems. We have spoken on the challenges or the limitations with wilderness weather stations, that they are battery powered and they have to be rechargeable, they have to be self-contained, there is no human access for maintaining, they have to make use of slow speed satellite links because they do not have a permanent connection to power cables or network cables, and they have to deal with severe weather condition and damage due to animal attacks and so on. So I hope you've had fruitful takeaways from this lecture video. Thank you.